me to qualify. I've been talking to a lender who's been walking me through the process of what it's going to take for me to get my portion up, and what it's going to take Rod for him to get his portion up, so that we can come together and purchase something. My credit's not strong enough right now. Okay, so I ain't on here with an 800 credit score, not yet. Okay, so don't get me out here pretending like I'm something that I'm not. I'm not saying I don't have. I mean, I feel like sometimes people, they will address you as if, why won't you just buy a house? Just because you have money does not mean, and I don't even have the most money, y'all. Okay, just because you have an income does not mean you can qualify for anything. Okay, my credit is just not solid enough. I have the income and I don't have the credit, so I have to make moves to where I can afford. You have to understand, I have 9 children. Now, I pay cash for everything. Me and Rob. Now I have help, but even before, I had to pay everything by myself. So for all the single moms out there, I feel you. I feel you. Okay? I have 9 children, and people wonder, how do you take care of 9 children? Bitch, I have to work my motherfucking ass off. Like, for real, I do. And in order for me to buy a house ever, the odds are stacked against me. And I hate to say that, but they are. The odds are stacked against me because I have more than 3 kids, which is statistically like the average amount of kids you're supposed to have. You're not really supposed to have more than 3 kids. Statistically, that's the hardest amount of kids to care for. And after 3, they say it stays the same per my research. But is that really true? I don't think so. Because I remember when I had 3 kids, and this shit is way tougher than 3 kids. But statistically, they say 3 kids is the hardest amount of kids to take care of. So we're just gonna work with that number, okay? I got way more than that. So it's gonna take way more. I just like against me. Technically, I'm not even supposed to be able to buy a house. Statistically, I'm supposed to be in somebody's housing or something somewhere. So anyway, I'm just saying all this rambling just to say I had to get off my chest, you guys, because I want to make it abundantly clear. Hold on a second. Okay, I might have to get up in a minute to see what's going on, but Rod's here, so if he don't get him, I'm in. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I just want to make it abundantly clear a few things so that we are all on the same page going forward. I am just making moves to where I can place myself and this family in better situations. Girl, I don't want to rent. Girl, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be paying these people's mortgage and then some. I'm paying 2 mortgages. Okay? I was talking to a lady the other day. I told her how much I pay in rent even now. I pay $1,000 less than I did over there at the last house. And girl, it's still 2 times the amount of her fucking mortgage. No, I don't want to do this. It's not lovely either. I don't like doing it. But we do what we have to do because we have to have a place. And my kids have to have a nice place to call home. Now, what I will say is, all the times that I've moved, no, not every time my kids were in the same school district or same schools. Yes, we've had to move and do what we had to do. I moved from Vegas to Texas. I was actually never supposed to be in Texas. I was supposed to stay in Vegas, but I had to move in the middle of a pandemic, and so I had to find a place. One thing you can never say about me, you can say a lot about me. You can say I got a lot of baby daddies. You can say I got a lot of kids. You can say I've had evictions. You can say I've had repossessions. You can say I'm no better than anybody else. But one thing you can never say is that I wasn't a good mother to my kids. I was homeless. I never took care of them. Things like that. You can never say things like that about me. So that's fine. But what I want to say is, what I wanted to say was that the move, the reason why I moved was really just because I don't even want to say me. I say I a lot, and I'm used to saying that, and Rob's always getting on me like, why are you saying you? It's us. We're in this together. But we moved just for financial reasons. Not because we couldn't afford it. I was paying that shit this entire time. No problem. But it was, okay, I don't want to say no problem. Yes, it was a problem, okay? Because I was paying $1,000 more than I should have been paying. But I didn't have time to do the research. Do your research. Don't be like me. But at the time, it was, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This landlord wants to sell his house. This is what we were thinking in Houston. This landlord wants to sell his house. We have weeks to figure out what we're going to do. We need to find a house. We can go find a 2-bedroom, but a 2-bedroom is not going to fit all of us in it. A 3-bedroom is not going to fit all of us in it. Do you know how hard it is to find a 4 or 5 bedroom on the market in Houston? That's hard. It's really difficult. So that's why I had to start looking at out in surrounding cities, because the options were low. Okay, everybody who moves to Texas seems like they moved to Houston. So, especially at that time, it was warm, really, really warm. It was hard to find a place. So we did what we had to do, period. I'm not mad about that, because you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, somebody said, have you looked into an FHA loan? You don't need good credit if your income is good. So I have looked into an FHA loan, and I'm working with, what is he called, a loan officer? A lender. I'm working with a lender to kind of see what my options are. Me and Rod together, but I need to free up more income. I have things that have to be taken. I have things, y'all. This is personal business. I gotta take care of my personal business. I gotta take care of my back maintenance. Okay, I got behind the scenes. I've got things I gotta take care of, and just get up off my credit. And I told myself, and I'm gonna give myself a year to get it together, and we'll see where we're at. We'll revisit this in a year, and I hope that in a year that we're able to be in a position to be like, okay, let's buy. Okay, so the thing about FHA loans, you can get the, okay, so what I know so far about FHA loans is that you can get a loan with like a $500 credit score, for instance, right? But your options are still going to be small, because then the actual people who have the loans, what is the banks, the actual people who have the loans, they have like underlying requirements. So even though the FHA loan says you can get a loan if you have a 500 credit score, the other companies who are actually giving you a loan will say, no, you have to have a 620 or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what I do, there's no way getting around getting, hey, Kels, there's no way getting around raising up our credit scores. Rod's is a little bit better than mine. I took a hit a couple years ago, and I'm still paying for those L's. Okay, so it is what it is. Look, it is what it is. So basically, that's what I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to come on here and try to just explain it lightly, not in depth, because it's really nobody's business. There's a couple things though that I did here that I was like, I'm not going to sit up here and stand for. Another thing, the one last thing that I have to say is that don't ever fucking try me and say that I use some type of extra. I'm doing something illegal to get houses. Don't say that, because I've never in my entire life my entire adult life, needed to use anything illegal to get a house. Just me and cash, okay? Money and me. And in this case, me and Rock, because we're together. We have 2 incomes and things like that. So, I don't get where people get off. It's just like, it's the hateration for me. Like, and I'm not saying be a hater, you're being a hater because I'm moving every year or whatever, but it's just like, girl, me moving don't hurt you. It doesn't affect nobody out here. Calm down, relax, and just trust the process. And honestly, if I wanted to rent forever, every year, if I wanted to move forever, that's my business. There's nowhere that says I can't do that. There's no written rule somewhere in somebody's book or law that says that I'm not allowed to move as much as I want to. If I wanted to move every other week, that's my motherfucking business, period. But I just had to go in here and say that real quick. There's people talking about, I had to hit me up in my DM and show me something somewhere where somebody was like insinuating that I was using some type of, I don't even know, some type of illegal practice to get a house, bitch. Don't play me. There's one thing you can never say about me. First of all, I think this is from the thing they're talking about is dedicated to Houston. I think it's called like a CPN, where I guess people get fake social security numbers and shit. Bitch, are you crazy? Are you crazy? I'm on a live stream. Who is that? I'm on a live, so come back in a minute, okay?